Hello and welcome back. This is Joanna the Medium. I'm also an intuitive coach. Welcome to your July 2017 readings. As always, thank you so much for watching, for sharing, and for liking. If you would like a private session with me just to see how life goes on with you or what you would like to have clarity on, I have included that information down below for you. Also, I will be away for a big part of July, which means August readings will be either late or I will do them halfway through August, but I will also include September. I may also do a quick mid-month August, these readings will be much shorter. So I will have to see what I do, but I'm already saying to you, just so you know, they won't be posted August 1st because I just won't be able to. There's just not enough time for me to do all of it. Also, 6-month readings from July until December will be posted on Vimeo in the next couple of weeks, and I will probably post a video on that once it's ready. I just want to say July seems to be a fantastic month for most of the signs. Actually, there's nothing here that I can remember that's negative. It seems to be a pretty good energy. A lot of transformations, a lot of transitions, but these are all fantastic energies. I have tried to make the readings shorter because I do realize many of you don't have time to listen to me for 35 minutes. And they just did not go as planned. So most of them are over 30 minutes. I do apologize for that. I will do my best to keep them shorter because not only is the recording of them tremendously time consuming, but it also takes a lot longer to download. So I will keep them a little bit shorter while still being able to give you as much information as I can. Also, is there anything else? I feel that's it. Of course, always thank you so much for watching and for liking or subscribing. Please comment if you would like to, as to how this affects you, and always listen to your other signs, your moon sign and your rising sign, as well as your sun sign, because oftentimes these signs will give you much more clarity with regards to what goes on with you. And I think that's all I have left. I'm supposed to say good luck to somebody, but good luck to everybody. Good luck to all of us. And without further ado, let's get started on July readings. I hope you enjoy them. Have a wonderful month. Take care. Hello, beautiful Geminis. This is going to be a reading for the month of July. I have about a lot of information already. Before I even start with the cards, I seem to be getting a lot more information at the beginning of my meditation before I even put out the cards, and I have to write it down because when it comes to me Fast and Furious, if I don't write it down, I will most likely lose a lot of it, and I don't want to do that. So one of the things that was very clear to me for you guys is that the month of July, almost a January, offers you an energy of empowerment, strength, overcoming challenges and difficulties. It is also a time of new beginnings. I wrote that right here. Yeah. Is it also a time of new beginnings? A lot of time for healing and emotional stability and focus. Also, it's a time of expansion and organization when it comes to thoughts. So organized thoughts. It is also a time of decisions. Letting go is being shown to me very clearly. So we will go through each individual department, if you will, and we will talk about those. But these were the messages and the feelings that I got very early on before I even put the cards out or I shuffled the cards. I also was shown the number 4, which to me represents stability. It is putting forth new structures, putting together new foundations, starting new structures, organizations. So it also lends itself to new beginnings, because number 4 to me symbolizes structures and foundations, but that are at the very beginning of its foundation. So a lot of letting go, restructuring as far as ideology, restructuring ideas, letting go of outdated ways of thinking and believing and also doing, and hence the energy of expansion. So it all kind of lends itself to one another. Do I have anything else here? No, that's the rest for the other stuff. Okay, so when I put out the cards, 2 cards fell out actually for the overall message or the overall energy. The first card is Ace of Swords, or triumphant success. This is the card of swords. and it's a card of new beginning, new ideas. And the second card was, or is, Two of Swords, which is internal conflict, yes, but also this is a card of choices and decisions that may be causing you some mental distress. So those two cards, they're actually one after the other, so 1 and 2, brand new beginnings, brand new ideas, and then consequently being bogged down by decision or which way to go on what route to choose. So it's actually a really good combination because one is a brand new beginning, and this is what I did talk about before the cards even came out. And 2 is, mental conflict can just mean that there are more than one choices in front of you or decisions that you will need to make. Some of those are financial, and you may not know exactly which way to move, and that may cause you some mental distress. But remember, you are in a month of overcoming challenges and difficulties. So the energy of those two cards is actually congruent with what I was hearing and seeing, and it's actually really good. Now, let's go down to each individual department. So is there anything else that I forgot? Emotional stability, focus, expansion of thoughts. Yes, the rest of it is the other stuff. Sorry, I have to look because I wrote a whole bunch of things down. So going on to relationships. When I was focusing on that energy, I actually heard also overcoming challenges and difficulties, and the card of hope or star fell out, and this is card number 17 in a traditional tarot deck. It is in reverse, but even if it's in reverse, this card in reverse it still is a very good card. What it symbolizes to me is that there is a temporary setback or a temporary lack of progress in a relationship status or in a relationship area. Now, I'm not addressing romantic relationships specifically, sorry. I am addressing all kinds of relationships, whether it be family, romantic, friendships, or otherwise, whatever other relationships you have, and I guess with pets as well. So there seems to be a temporary pause, and I actually hear the word standstill. The standstill has to do regarding a decision. Now, all of a sudden, I am seeing, actually, it doesn't matter what I'm seeing. I feel like there are some decisions regarding wills and estates, not because it is coming, but because it has already happened. The passing of somebody has already happened, and there are decisions regarding the division of of estate. So wills, estates, anything that belonged to somebody else, and the person is no longer in this dimension, and there seems to be some decisions around that. I'm also hearing that there is a lawyer involved, or there might need to be a lawyer involved. This is not a prediction of somebody passing. This has happened a while ago. For some of you, it's actually quite some time ago. And I actually heard the word father. So somebody's father passed quite some time ago, and the division of assets either hasn't happened, or there is some temporary temporary lack of progress regarding this. So relationship to a father. Interesting that they didn't come up with money, but let's just go with this because I'm seeing this very clearly. Now I'm going to move that aside. Some of you are deciding whether you want to move forward with a relationship with someone. And I feel that some of you are contemplating whether it is worth your while. So some of you may be stalling a little bit on making a decision regarding partnership or a relationship. This could be either a romantic relationship, or you are contemplating moving in with someone, or maybe even, I don't think investing, because that's going to come in a money card. This is relationships. it feels to me like someone is stalling with regards to making a decision of moving forward with a relationship, whether it is because it's a logical next step, or you are deciding whether it's worthwhile to continue a relationship that is fairly new, or just continue moving on with a relationship. I don't feel this particular comment is about family. I feel this is more romantic relationship, or that's more what I feel. I can't talk today. That's what I feel more so than anything else with this particular message of, stalling in regards to moving a decision. Some of you are actually moving forward alone in your journey. So for some of you, you have left someone, or someone is no longer in your life for whatever reason. Could be because they're gone to the other side, or could be because you decided to move on, or they decided to move on, and you are taking the next part of your journey by yourself. And this feels to me more like a coupled situation, and the couple is no longer for whatever reason, and there is a loss associated with it. Again, this is not a prediction. This is something that has happened quite a while ago. The loss has occurred a while ago, but now the movement forward is starting to it's starting to occur. So you are deciding to actively move forward, whether to actively look for someone or actively involve yourself in looking for somebody special, or you are actively now pursuing your life, because before you were kind of at a standstill. So that's obviously not for all of you. It will be for some of you. Marriage is coming for some of you, and I see two people joining hands with a wedding ring. To me, wedding ring represents obviously a marriage, but it also represents to me a form of commitment. So some of you are committing to someone. It could be committing to something, could be a project. Because it's a relationship department, I tend to veer off more towards relationship with people, but don't be surprised if you are going to commit to something and it is a project, okay? And I'm trying to keep the money to the next card. Let me just see if there's anything else. Some of you are swimming alone. I see someone in the boat moving forward. The card of 8 of Pentacles is being shown to me, which signifies positive movement forward. The waters are very calm. Waters represents emotion. So some of you are moving forward alone with your life, and some of you are moving forward in a dating scene, and you seem to be quite comfortable with who you are at this time, because for whatever reason that wasn't the case before. And I don't know before what the time frame of that is, but that's the message here. I'm also being shown the number 7, which is also July, but there's the number 7 is being somehow is significant here. Okay, some of you have done a lot of growth, a lot of internal growth. You have healed a lot of past wounds, and you are now ready to move forward with your life, and maybe even with a brand new relationship. And he's just asking me to say that yes, you guys have a lot of new beginnings and change of perspectives and emotional stability, overcoming challenges. So it does seem to be it is connecting to me with what I said earlier. He's also asking me to say the word expansion, which I do have that card in a different department, but I feel some of you are expanding, and not necessarily in the waist. Some of you are expanding as far as family. So all of a sudden I saw a pet. Some of you might be thinking of getting a companion that's more four-legged, or maybe it has no legs. Maybe it's a fish. I don't know. But it seems to be a pet. And some of you might actually be getting pregnant. Now, what's interesting here is that I see a child coming into someone, but the child is not through birth. I feel like the child is a little bit older. I feel like the child is about 2 years old. It is a younger kid. It's not a baby. And I hear the word adoption. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are finally deciding to adopt, going through an adoption. I don't feel it's adopting out. It feels like it's coming in, or the adoption is finally going to go through, either physically or paper for adoption is finally going to go through. I also hear yay. So there is a sense of celebration here. So for those of you who have been waiting on a decision pertaining adoption, there is a pretty good chance that in the month of July, and it could go a little bit as far as August because the time is fluid here, and as I've said earlier in my readings in July, a lot of them are being pushed actually to August as well. So don't be surprised if some of this information doesn't make sense to you until actually middle of August, and just go from there. I also hear someone saying congratulations to the two of you. So again, maybe you're getting pregnant, maybe a baby is going to be born, or maybe baby comes into your life as because of an adoption. Now, I hear the word family, so maybe some of you, maybe there's one person out there who is deciding on taking someone else's child in order to help a relative or help a family member, and it could be as easy as simple, when I mean simple, as your sister is going through some rough times and she has a lot of young children or a lot of children, or she's just mentally and emotionally not able to care for the child, and you are inviting her to give you temporary custody. That's actually the words I heard. So there might be some legalities involved, or just because that's how it's being said to me. Okay. I also hear the child belongs with you. So if there's one person out there and you are looking to take on a child from another family member, and this is not your child, not biologically anyway, and if you're wondering if this is your child, well, the message is the child is supposed to be with you. So very, very interesting there. Okay. I actually just saw the words New York. So maybe some of you live in New York or in New York State, or somehow there is New York connected to this, or I'm just going to leave it there because that could be a gazillion different things. Okay. Now let's move on to the card about money. So wealth and prosperity and career. You did receive the card strength or power in reverse. And right away, I hear the words temporary setback. Okay. So what did I write here? Because yes. So when I was shuffling and asking for the energy or for the message regarding wealth, prosperity, and career, I heard decisions around career path, decisions around finances, and I also heard obligations. I see some of you needing to either spend more money or watch your spending, and I saw both situations very, very clearly. I actually wrote, yes, avoid too much spending. I also felt self-doubt and lack of discipline for some of you regarding money. So I'm just going to break this down. Some of you might be dealing with, and this is a temporary setback, but remember, your overall energy is a brand new beginning. Okay. The temporary setback might be because your decision regarding what to do next may not be decided right in July. And I heard August, I'm being pushed to August. So if you are looking to change a career, or if you are looking if you're looking for a new job, I feel there is a block. You have a block of some sort, whether it's block because you don't know what to do, or whether you feel like you're blocked and nothing is coming to you, and obviously money is still going out. It's causing you to feel at unrest, and it's causing you to feel a bit of self-doubt. Okay, I'm also seeing the martini glass, so that can signify often that when I see this, there is a propensity to want to maybe soothe your lack of confidence with like a drink or two. So if that's you, just maybe watch to make sure that it's not overused, okay? Some of you are having constant headaches about work. And I hear the words, not enough money, not enough money, not enough money. So, and right away, I'm being taken to somebody's first chakra. So if you are someone who's constantly in a position where you feel like there's not enough money in your life, and the next piece of information could be around health, but I'm just going to put it here because it's being given to me. I feel like in the past, the carpet has been pulled from underneath you. So in regards to work decision, I feel in the past you have fallen down, or you felt like the carpet has been pulled from underneath you and there was a loss. Also, and as a consequence, you might feel doubtful or fearful when it comes to your money making abilities or capabilities. But what I was going really to say is, well, I did want to say this, but what was really coming is that I'm being taken to somebody first chakra, which is also, more often than not, in my experience, when I've been doing this for 15 years as a therapist, challenges around first chakra almost always externalize themselves in challenges with finances. So, and I've said this in the past before, and some of you may be making great money, but you can't hold on to money. That often indicates there is some challenges in your first, sometimes the second, but most often than not in your first chakra. I think what I'm going to do on one video is I'm actually going to give you guys an exercise to do an exercise with money, so you can actually feel the energy you have around money, and many of you will be astonished at what you find, and a lot of it will make sense to you once it happens. So I'm just gonna, because it's too long to do here, and I can't do it now. So look back at your experiences as a child, particularly to the feeling of safety and security, and also the messages around money or messages around wealth and worth when you were young. Because if you are one of those people who constantly thinks there's never enough, I don't have enough money, more likely than not, you have a challenge with your root chakra and you're not even connecting the two. Most of these things are so subconscious. I mean, I'm going to say 90% of our behaviors are based in our subconscious mind, but it's actually more like 95. So only 5% of what we do is actually based on something that we logically get. Most of it is so subconscious, we have no awareness of it. And I actually deal with this all the time. So that's what I'm going to say on this. And if you are constantly complaining that there's not enough money, for some of you, stop spending, but also the constant repetition, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough. That constant repetition creates a bit of a vicious cycle, because you keep solidifying something about money that you will never have. And I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So it's not about lying to yourself that, oh my God, I have lots of money, when you don't. There's no point in that, because that creates more blocks and more resistance. But if you always say all the time, if you always repeat, I can't go here, I have not enough money, or you talk to somebody, I don't have enough money, I never have enough money, try stopping saying I don't have enough money half as much and notice if you see improvement. Because I don't want to go too much into it. The words we feed ourselves become our thoughts, become our feelings, then become our belief systems. So I'm going to leave it at that. But that was the message. No, I'm not going to leave it at that, because he just put a bag of money in front of me. And he said, even if you were to receive a whole bunch of money, the part of you that feels unworthy would subconsciously push it away. So you would either spend it right away, you would either give it right away, or somehow the money would be gone and you wouldn't even know where it went. There's a challenge here with some of you with keeping money. It has everything to do with the wealth of you, or the way you feel about yourself as far as your worth. And that's going to be an important piece for many of you. Okay, it's subconscious, For most of you, it's subconscious, but if you can look back at your childhood and the messages you received around wealth, money, yourself, how you feel about yourself, how your mother felt about her, how your father felt about him, and the concept of money, you are more likely than not going to kind of go, okay, now it makes perfect sense. And I'm going to leave it at that. Now, moving on to health. What did I write about health? Yes. Well, the first card that I got was the fertility card. So this is the Empress. It is a card of birth, card of new ideas. Birth. It is also a card of expansion. And I wrote, because I heard change in perspective. So this is health and well-being. Health doesn't have to be physical. Health is also mental, emotional, and spiritual. Some of you are going to have a drastic change of perspective in the way you see the world. And the change is going to come as a result of something that has transpired last year for some of you, or some of you a few months ago. And I hear the word idle. So if you have been idle for the last few months, whatever that means to you in your particular case, I feel you have had a chance to re-examine some of your beliefs and some of your ideology, which will inevitably change your thinking. When we change our thinking, we change consequently our behavior, because every thought is followed by a corresponding behavior. We don't even notice, it's so subconscious. So that is good news, and that would be more to me about the mental and emotional health. Some of you are choosing not to focus on what is wrong with you. Now, when I say wrong, notice I'm doing this because I don't use that terminology. So if you are constantly dealing with a condition that is long-term, you're deciding that you're not going to be focusing on it, and you're not going to put it front and center. You're going to acknowledge it's there, but you're not going to make that center the center of attention. And similar information that I said with money. If there are some of you who are constantly on focusing on lack of health or lack of emotional stability, whatever it is, if you're constantly focusing on lack, that is essentially where you are putting your energy, and wherever energy goes, it creates more of the same. So it's something that I'm going to teach eventually. It's a simple concept and we all do it, but it's actually profound in the way we do it and we don't even know about it or think about it. So some of you are choosing to move past the roadblocks that were the cards that were dealt for you. So in other words, I'm seeing somebody's back, and somebody's back is not well. And I don't know if it's because you have fallen, you have a problem with your back because of surgeries, combination of the two. There's a problem with somebody's back. This is an example, but also it is somebody, I'm tuning into someone. And I hear that you are there lower back pain. I see your lower back. So you have a lower back pain. And that's obviously affecting you mentally. Clearly, it's affecting you emotionally if you are in pain. But what they're showing me is that you are making the decision and you are consciously choosing not to make that be the center of your thought. Now, how is that going to happen? Well, oftentimes we choose to just say, okay, this is what I'm going to deal with. This is something that I have, and it's never going to change. Obviously, for those of you who feel like it's never going to change, or it's just something that's permanent, sometimes that happens as a result of certain things, and you're choosing to accept it rather than to fight it. When we fight something, anything, and I'm not saying it's easy, but when we fight something, we create resistance to it. When we create resistance to it, it only makes it stronger fundamentally, energetically. It doesn't make it go away. So as with anything in life, sometimes, and I'm going to say always, but that's far stretch for too many people. So sometimes the best thing to do with things that cannot be changed, at least now, is to let go of the fight and accept what is in front of you. So if some of you are being diagnosed with something that is not great, and this is not a prediction, I'm not seeing somebody, by the way, I'm not seeing somebody being diagnosed with cancer. That's not what I'm seeing. That may happen, but that is not the image I'm getting, and that is not the information that I'm being asked to say. This is more about the functionality of a body, because I'm seeing somebody sitting on a chair a lot, and I'm also seeing somebody perhaps being wheeled around because there's difficulty with walking. If there is a person who is dealing with constant pain, particularly lower back, and because something happened, you had an accident, or it was something you were born with, and the prognosis is that it's kind of always going to be there, and you're just going to have to manage it. There is no fixing it, but you can manage it. You are choosing, whoever you are choosing to accept it, and you are choosing to move on with it as opposed to fighting it. And by no means am I suggesting that that is easy. I would never say it. But the fight, more often than not, makes it that much more difficult. So I'm not saying some of you are going to go and be on a wheelchair. That was a metaphor, and I'm hoping that some of you are going to understand this, because some of you really need to hear this. Okay. Some of you, I'm hearing, stop drinking so much. So obviously that can apply to many people. If you are a habitual drinker, or if you are a habitual smoker, or if you are a habitual hamburger eater, and I think that has come up a couple months ago, you are being asked to watch, okay? Watch your health. And particularly I'm being tuned into someone who is quite overweight. I'm feeling it's a male. It could obviously be a female, but I keep hearing hamburgers. So if you are someone who is, who is eating out a lot, and you are not watching what you're eating, you're being kind of warned a little bit to watch yourself. Okay. Now the other thing that I was being shown is if you are quite overweight, you might have a back problem that is connected to your weight. Okay, if you're carrying a lot of extra weight in the front, and I normally don't get this information, but because I'm getting it, I have to say it. Your back problems could very well be tied to your extra weight. So, and the message is just watch what you're eating, or just watch that. And I think that's all I have. I'm already gone past 30 minutes. And I was hoping these will be shorter, because some of you don't have time to listen to me for 35 minutes. And so anyway, I hope this made sense. I certainly hope that it was helpful to you. If you would like to comment on how this does help, I would love to read it. I read every single one. I don't always respond because it's not feasible, but I read every single one. Also, please note that many of these messages may not make sense to you at the beginning of July, and they almost never do. But I always say, I hear from many of you at the end of a month. You listen to the messages and you say, oh my God, I can't believe how accurate it is. So that, plus also listen to your other signs, your moon and rising, because that may offer you a more complete picture. And with that said, I wish you a wonderful month of July. Take care of yourself, expand, and I look forward to seeing you in August. Take care. Bye.